In this video, I'm going to show you how to sell copywriting services to tech companies. And believe me when I say you do not want to miss this video because tech companies are some of the most lucrative types of copywriting clients you can get. And lucky for you, I've spent about 10 years of my career working for some of the largest and most successful tech companies on the planet. So in this video, I'm going to give you some Jedi mind tricks that you can use that'll almost guarantee that they'll have no choice but to say yes and hire you if you do it right. So this video is a B2B copywriting course to help you figure out how to sell copywriting services to tech companies to help you make a bunch of money. Let's get into it. So the type of tech companies that I'm going to be focusing on in this video are called SaaS companies. SaaS stands for software as a service. And what that basically means is any sort of tech company that sells an application or a service that requires a monthly or annual subscription in order to use. A very common thing these days. And you might be wondering, why SaaS companies? Well, it's because there is a massive opportunity for copywriters to make a bunch of money selling services to SaaS type companies to solve problems that almost all of them face. So here's what I mean. Typically, SaaS companies follow a similar sales process for how they actually sell their services. And it's within this sales process where a copywriter can offer a ton of value. So the first step is usually one of their sales reps finds a prospect that the company wants to sell to. Next, the sales rep will usually write an email sequence that they'll send to this prospect over a week or a couple weeks with the goal of booking meetings with that prospect. Once the meeting is booked, they have that meeting and then try to sign that prospect up for a free trial of their software or service. Once that customer signs up for a free trial, the next step is the sales rep tries to sell them on a paid plan during that trial period. So in that standard process and sales scenario that I just ran you through, most tech companies lose business in two main areas. And these are two main areas that are essentially a gold mine if a skilled copywriter can come in and help them solve the problems and lose less deals in those areas. The first big miss that a lot of these companies have is at that first step where the sales rep is writing an email sequence to book meetings with their prospect. The sales reps most of the time just aren't writing good enough email copy. Basically, the emails they're writing are not converting enough of their prospects into actual meetings, and that results in a loss of revenue down the line. So to give you an example, let's say a sales rep at company X makes a list of 1,000 customers they want to book meetings with, and they only have a 1% conversion rate of people who actually convert to meetings. That means that after all the work of prospecting 1,000 potential customers, they're only getting 10 meetings with the chance to actually get them to sign up for a trial and become customers. And that is a really common problem that a lot of tech companies face. They're not booking enough meetings. And it's a problem that a lot of them face because a lot of the sales reps that they're hiring for these entry-level sales positions have really never written copy before. Like this might be their first job, and this might be the absolute first time they've ever even tried to write email copy with the goal of booking meetings. And what do you expect? If someone's brand new, obviously they're going to suck at writing copy that does a good job converting prospects into meetings. This is where you can come in as a copywriter. If you can help every sales rep at a particular company book 2 or 3 times more meetings in the first place, that dramatically increases their chances of closing more deals. The next place that a lot of tech companies are losing a lot of money is after they get prospects to actually sign up for a free trial. It's very common for a prospect to actually sign up for a free trial and then either never use the free trial or they never really use the free trial effectively, like they log in and they don't really know what to do once they're in there, or they sign up for a free trial, use it, and then never sign up to be a paying customer, and that's a loss of revenue. This is a huge financial pain point for almost every tech company. Because the reality for them is they've already spent so much time paying for sales reps, having the sales reps prospect accounts, send a bunch of emails out, convince people to book meetings, have a preliminary discovery call during that first meeting, convince the prospect to sign up for a trial, and then they get ghosted. That's just a whole bunch of time, effort, and money wasted. And these two things that I just mentioned are potential gold mines for copywriters. The first is writing high converting emails that help tech companies convert more prospects into meetings. And the second lucrative opportunity is writing emails to their prospects that have already signed up for a free trial, either getting them to get more engaged with the trial environment and actually use it, which would increase the likelihood of them becoming a paid customer, or just straight up writing emails to free trial customers, getting them to become paid customers earlier on in the process. You can literally make like $1,000 or $2,000 for each of these pain points that you could write email sequences for basically any tech company that you convince to hire you. $1,000, $2,000, really common that you could charge that much to help solve these problems. Because it really is their business. It's such a high value to them that if you're able to help them sign more customers or not waste as many prospects that never become customers, that could totally revolutionize their business. But now we're going to talk about how you can actually convince these companies to hire you and trust you with this service. So I'm going to walk you through a little sales Jedi mind trick that you can use on a lot of tech companies that if you go through correctly, will almost guarantee that they'll have no choice but to agree to hire you. So let's say you got in contact with a tech company that you want to work with, and they agree to have a conversation with you to hear you out about how you might be able to help their business. Here's what you need to do. 1, you need to make sure you're asking them how much they typically charge their clients. For this example, let's say they charge $1,000 per year. Next, you're going to ask them what percentage of prospects that they contact actually book a meeting from the prospecting emails that they're sending. And the last thing you're going to ask is what percent of prospects that have accepted a meeting become paying customers. So let's say it looks something like this. They sell their clients $1,000 per year services. 1% of all the people they email actually book a meeting with the sales rep. And then 10% of the customers that actually take that first meeting eventually become paying customers. Once you have this information, you're going to do some really simple napkin math with your customer. You're going to say something like this. Okay, so let's say sales rep A is prospecting 1,000 new potential customers every month. Based on what you've just told me, of that 1,000, 10 of them actually agree to take a meeting. Of that 10, on average, 1 will become a customer, and that customer's worth $1,000 per year. If I said that I could help your sales reps increase their meeting booking rate from 1% to 3%, that would mean that you're booking 30 meetings per month instead of just 10. It would also mean that you're closing 2 more customers every month, and you'd be bringing in $3,000 every month instead of just $1,000. If I could do that for you, do you think that that would be enough to justify my $1,000 one-time fee? What you're doing by going through this back of the napkin math with your customer is you're proving to them right in front of their face what your value is and why they should seriously consider hiring you. If you could make them $2,000 of extra revenue every month, and it's only going to cost them $1,000 as a one-time payment to get that type of a result, almost every company would take that deal every day of the week. It's almost a no-brainer. It is such a no-brainer because you are empowering them to close 3 times as many deals every month without having to hire a new sales rep. A new sales rep requires a salary. A salary is an ongoing cost. You're offering to do this for them for a one-time fee of $1,000. That is an excellent ROI for them. But what happens if your client tries to play hardball with you and says something like this? Ooh, $1,000 is pretty steep. Maybe we do it if you could do it for $500 instead. A lot of experienced tech companies will try to negotiate with you like this, but respond to them like what I'm about to tell you and see what they say. Say something like, oh, okay, so you want me to do it for 50% less. Okay, would you be okay if I did it for 50% less, but also produced 50% fewer results? Say that, and then just say nothing for a few minutes. Of course they don't want 50% fewer results. And I'm not trying to tell you to be this cheeky, hard to work with negotiator, not at all. But what I'm trying to get you into the habit of doing is putting that ROI number back in their face. You're doing X to help them achieve Y. You're providing a clear value. If you're able to do that and go back to the ROI case study you've just quickly drawn up for them, it's going to be really, really hard for them to say no. So what we just went through is just a strategy you can use to sell them email copy for their initial meetings booked prospecting sequence that literally almost every tech company you reach out to will probably be running. The goal of that is to help them book more meetings that down the line eventually become sales. Now, if you've gotten to this part in the conversation, you need to start to pivot to start talking about how you can help them make even more money by writing better sales copy to help convert free trial prospects into paying customers. So you're going to get them on both ends, on the prospecting side and the converting people from a free trial to paid customer side. So again, when you get to this phase in the conversation, you're going to start by asking them some questions. Do a little bit of discovery. You want to ask them what usually happens after someone signs up for a free trial. Are there a set of pretty common recurring outcomes that this company sees? Usually, it'll be a combination of things like these. Either the prospect never logged in to the trial or logged in but never really used it, probably because they didn't really know how to use it and there was no data in the trial. And the second thing that might happen is that the prospect does use the trial, but then lets it expires and never becomes a paying customer. So once they go through what the typical situation usually looks like after a prospect signs up for one of their free trials, you can start strategizing and pitching them on additional copywriting services to help them solve those problems. If the most common problem they're facing is that prospects never really log in or use the free trial, you can talk about creating email copy sequences that help boost engagement, providing helpful information and calls to action that drive prospects to actually logging in and using the free trial. Because everyone knows if they're not using the trial, they're not going to become a customer. So this will help them build that engagement so that these people have a better chance of actually becoming paid customers. That's a really valuable service. If the situation that they're experiencing is that prospects are signing up for a free trial, but they log in and they say they don't really know how to use it, you can offer to work with them to build almost like tooltips that pop up in their trial environment with copy that guides the prospect to different parts of the application to build engagement that way. And if the situation the company's facing is that people sign up, use the trial, let it expire, and never become paid customers, you can offer to write like a retargeting campaign where you're writing an email sequence that re-engages past trial customers to try to convince them to come back into the system to give your client a chance of selling them again. So yeah, you should honestly be really, really excited to give this strategy a try within your copywriting business, because I can tell you with confidence, almost every single tech company you come across is going to be facing these problems in one way or another. And they're problems that they are constantly trying to fix. But the reality is companies get into this cycle where they're forced to just keep pushing forward with their existing processes because they have revenue targets. If you can come in and say, hey, I'll write you some killer copy that helps your reps just have a higher conversion rate. You don't have to hire more reps. You don't have to do extra training. Easy, plug and play. I can help you with this. You are going to have a lot of luck selling a lot of these projects. So what's next for you to be able to fully take advantage of this B2B copywriting opportunity? I'm going to tell you right now. The first thing you need to make sure you have checked off is you need to either already be brushed up or start brushing up on your email copywriting services, because that is the core service you're going to be offering with this strategy. You want to make sure that your skills are sharp so that once they do agree to hire you, you can actually deliver on the promises you've made and they become a raving customer. They hire you for future projects and they refer you to all their startup friends that need help with their own email copywriting campaigns. And if you need a quick and easy way to brush up on your email copywriting, you should really check out my email copywriting prompts book. I just released it a month ago, and there's an entire section about sales copy, sales emails that'll help you with this. The second thing you need to do if you really want to go forward with this B2B copywriting strategy is to make a list. Make a massive list of all the different types of software as a service companies you can find that you think you could sell this type of service to, that you think you could really help them improve with. A really great way to do this is to use Google to search for different lists ranking startups in different cities or states or countries. A lot of websites feature lists of some of the fastest growing startups, tech startups in certain areas. They're usually like a top 100, top 500, or top 1,000 list. These types of lists can be potential lead gold mines for you, because if these companies are being noted as high growth tech companies, they are probably going to be interested in finding new ways to boost the effectiveness of their existing teams. Because if they can get more results without growing the team or hiring new people, that means more money, more investor money, bigger stock prices, all that fun stuff. The third thing you're going to want to do is to start actually contacting these companies to pitch them your services. Use email, use LinkedIn messages, and make sure that the copy you are sending them to contact them is absolutely blowing their socks off. Get them excited in the messages you're sending them to kind of start the ball rolling of what they can expect from you if they hire you. Send them some awesome copy that gets their attention and gets a meeting booked, and then that'll further strengthen your use case and, your ROI study when you're doing that for them, because you're like, hey, I got your attention pretty easily. I'm confident I can do this for all your customers as well. That'll really help. Write them some killer copy to book your meeting with them to discuss them hiring you. And the fourth and last thing I want you to remember with this B2B copywriting strategy is every single time you sign a new client, you start working with them, you deliver the campaign, they use it, they love it. Always, always, always ask for something in return. Ask for a reference, ask for a testimonial, ask for a review, because you're in this to make money. And if you've gotten a couple happy customers already, you should be doing your best to leverage them to get other customers in a similar space. And a lot of tech companies use references and referrals to make a buying decision for stuff like this. So don't be shy to say, hey, we had a great experience. I know you're happy with the campaign. Would you mind writing me a quick email testimonial or a review on my website so other companies can see what I'm all about? If you built a great relationship, most people would be happy to say yes. You could even send them like a $5 coffee card to thank them for the review. Anyway, that is my super quick B2B copywriting course to help you make a ton of money selling copywriting services to tech companies. If you enjoyed this video and think it might be really, really helpful for your copywriting business, leave me a comment below letting me know what you liked most about it, because I'm thinking about doing a part 2, and I'd love your feedback to make sure that I'm making that next video as awesome as possible and as helpful as possible for you guys. Anyways, that's it for this one. There's a link to my email copywriting prompts book in the description of this video. And until next time, cheers guys, happy selling.